All right. Have a good day, everyone. We are already almost half of the topic in Module 1. So, we have discussed Chapter 1, Chapter 2, Chapter 3, 4, and 5. So, if you guys have any questions with regard to those discussions, please feel free to send me a message or even like during our meetings, like live meetings, you can ask those questions to me. Okay. But for now, let's focus on chapter 6. So, chapter 6 is all about health, wellness, illness, and disability. So, let's talk about what health is all about, right? So, according to WHO or the World Health Organization, health is a state of complete physical, mental, and social well being, not merely the absence of disease. So that means that it's not about just like, oh, you're healthy, you think you're healthy, you're already healthy, right? I mean, you don't have illness, you don't feel anything bad, like physically or anything like that, then you're already healthy. No. According to WHO, it should always be a complete physical, mental, and social well being. So it is a holistic approach. It's not just a matter of you're not sick or you're not ill, you don't have a disease or anything like that, but it's supposed to be holistically. So when we talk about holistic view of health, this means that it's consider the health of the person as a whole, right? So it's a matter of physical health, emotional health, social health, cognitive health, spiritual health, and aspects that cannot be separated, right? So those are the five dimensions of us to be considered as holistically healthy, right? So again, as what we have mentioned, it's physical, emotional, social, and spiritual, and cognitive. Those are the five dimensions of health. Sorry. So, what is physical health? So, when we say physical health, that is from the word physical, your body, right? So, if you go through a healthy diet, eating the correct food, workout, what else? Good exercise, good sleep, and also like healthy lifestyle, like you are very conscious of what you eat, what you drink, or what you do. Like you have good enough sleep, at least 8 hours a day. So, those are actually physical health, right? You are taking care of your physical aspect or the physical body. While emotional health, this actually involves your confidence, your self-esteem, your self-awareness, right? Your ability to adapt the change. Like let's say if something happens or there's a big change in your life, that will always vary in your emotional capacity, right? It's a matter of how you carry that throughout your life, your confidence, your trust to yourself, your trust to other people, and your trust that everything will be all right, right? So that is considered emotional health. While social health, it's about being respectful, uh, being with other people, how you mingle with other people, being stable in with your family, with your social network at work. You know how to handle people in a different perspective. You are promoting well-being for everyone, right? So that means you know how to be kind, how to be respectful. You are open enough. You're understanding that like you are not creating chaos all the time, you don't complain all the time, like it's a matter of like understanding the differences as well. So that is actually under the social health. Of course, spiritual health, whatever you believe in a greater purpose, whatever your religion is, or you if you don't have religion, that is still under the spiritual health, right? It's a matter of how you understand the meaning of life and your purpose as an individual or as a person. That is actually under the spiritual health. While cognitive health, this one it involves about your mind, how you think sharply, engaging to still continuous learning, mental activities, maybe reading books, watching good shows, anything like that, or even like having some mental games, when attending to short courses, anything like that. That is under the cognitive health, just to build your thinking skills, right? While the social determinants of health, so we've done with the five dimensions of health, we will understand what are the social determinants of health. So when we talk about social determinants of health, those are the determinants, or those are the reasons or conditions or events that is actually beyond our personal control, right? What to call this, that is beyond our personal control, such as, of course, your income. So if you have issues with your income, that might be difficult for you to have or to achieve the holistic health, right? Because of course, whether we like it or not, whether it's free in Canada, there are some instances that we still need to spend our own money, right? Also, education. Same thing with education. If you are not educated or well educated, so you don't understand what's going on, and it's hard for you to also apply that to yourself, to your family, about holistic approach of care, right? Same thing with the environment. So if you're living in an environment that they don't really care about holistic healthcare, so that might be an issue. Same thing with the culture that might, like you have your traditional care or anything like that, that might not be same thing of what you believe in as a holistic approach. Next, so the 12 common social determinants are, of course, we have mentioned the social, the income, education, employment. We have also discussed environment, the personal practices, like that's still under the, whatever you believe in, like your culture, your like those traditional healings. That might contradict somehow because it might be difficult for you to believe on the medical health because you are so focused on your personal practices, right? So that's why it's included in the social determinants of health. Child development, biology, health services, of course, gender and culture, right? So those are some of the most common social determinants. When we talk about social determinants, it's a personal, beyond personal control. There might be some issues why it's hard for those might be some issues why it's hard for us to achieve the holistic health care. Okay, so how do we achieve optimal health? So again, wellness is achieved through balance in all five dimensions. Balance, everything should be equally getting. You should be equally getting like the physical, mental, or the cognitive, the emotional, the spiritual, and the social aspect of health, right? Because health is not just like once you're okay, you stop, right? It's not like that. Health exists on a continuum. That means every day you take care of yourself for all those five dimensions of health because every day should always be, there will always be a challenge. It might not be physical, but it could be emotional, it could be social, etc. Right? So that's why it is continuum. So when we talk about illness and disability, it's very common. We all know for sure what illness means and what disability means. But for your additional knowledge, illness, it's all about loss of health. You're sick, you have disease, that's illness. While disability is the loss of function, right? You, let's say you actually had an accident that might malfunction your right hand, your right foot, or both hands or both feet, right? So that depends. So that's disability. When we talk about acute, which is very common in the healthcare setting, when oh the client is acute like this, like acute like that, right? So it's actually short-term illness that it might gonna be healed in the long run, right? It might gonna be healed for like 3 to 6 months, anything like that, right? While chronic, it's long term. When we say long term, let's say, for example, hypertension, it's long term, or it might progress if you will not manage it, right? Diabetes is chronic. Sorry, diabetes is chronic. Uh, it could be long term and it could be forever, and especially it will progress if it will not be managed by medications, right? So again, guys, as what I have mentioned since the beginning of our lecture, caring for clients, always remember that we will apply the DIPS principles. When we talk about DIPS, it's dignity, independence, individualized care, preference, privacy, and safety, right? So I don't want to explain it further because we all have discussed that. DIPS principles. So always remember, guys, that every time we give care or we take care of our clients, it's always important that we give respect and we should be open and understanding to whatever differences that you and your client have, or for to everyone, right? We make sure that we are inclusive, accepting, and equal to each and everyone. And of course, we need to use respectful language to reduce or to avoid the stigma. Like they won't feel that, oh, they're being judged or whatnot, right? So it's always good that we need to be very careful of the words that we speak. We need to be sensitive enough for the actions and for the examples or conversations that we talk, just to make sure that in that sense we are reducing the stigma and promoting the equality of all clients. All right, so I think that that's it for chapter 6. If you guys have any questions, again, as what I've told you, you can always send me a message for anything like that. And I hope the this class really understands, helps you really understands about the health, wellness, illness, and disability. Right. So I'll see you again next time, and have a good day.